I forgot to do a patch ceremony for primary security agency. I'll do that right now. So we'll put them right over here. Love the patch, guys. Thank you. I keep forgetting that they got some different patch variations. All right. Anyhow, let's get to the topic of today's story. I want to talk about accountability and how important this is. I'm going to briefly describe an incident that happened. Incident that I was made aware of through our subscriber base. I'm not going to go into details about the incident because I don't want to have to put this security company on the spotlight because the situation has been resolved. We're not going to provide any links about the video. The situation is squashed. I know that some of you guys are curious. Research it all you want. There's no need for us to continue down that path that has already been corrected. Okay. I'll change around some dates and times and locations. So there's a security officer that was in Arizona. This happened about a year ago, and he was working at a bank. And he basically did something that he was not supposed to be doing. It brought a lot of media attention, not too much media attention, but a significant amount in attention in our community, in our close-knit private security community that we have. It brought some attention, not national headlines. I could totally see it going viral, but some time has passed. I think the situation has resolved itself. But anyhow, this person brought embarrassment to the organization by having some unauthorized, we'll say, equipment, right? So at the time, I reached out to the security company owner because I knew that we can resolve the situation with just in our community. Like, we don't have to do a social media review on the security company because of one incident. That's not right. We don't need to do a social media review or do a video review on that video because I think it's an isolated incident. Okay, and again, some of you guys are curious what happened. Not going to disclose. I reached out to this person on Instagram. I do have an Instagram account under The Firearms Trainer, and I asked this person. I sent a link to this person, and I said, "How are you going to resolve the incident?" Not in a disrespectful tone. I just asked, "How are we going to resolve it?" Right? It doesn't look good for the private security industry as a whole. Now, a lot of people who I contact, offline and online, usually online, they see my name, they see my Instagram profile or just my name, and they're like, "Who are you?" Or, "Hey, I know this guy, Sean, but I don't feel a need to respond." And you don't. You never have to respond to me. As a matter of fact, a security company out there called Tactical Task Force Security in California, I reached out to them and asked them, "Hey, are you supporting Assembly Bill 1244? Because I saw them at a CalSAGA meeting, CALSAGA meeting. They chose to ignore my comment and not respond. And that's fine as well. About 80 to 90% of security companies that I reached out to when Assembly Bill 1244 was being authored, and this is a bill that prevents like 90% of people who want to start a private security company from starting a security company, because the big nationals, the large security companies, they have a large market share. Like, I would argue too much of a market share. Most of the companies responded to me. They're like, "Hey, you know what? We just go because we just go to those meetings because we just want to learn about how to network. We want to have those networking opportunities and how to better our business." Understood. At least there's a response. And other people are saying, like, that's probably the last meeting, or I don't agree with the kind of information that they're putting out there. That's fine, but again, there's Tactical Task Force Security and some other companies decided to not respond at all. That's fine. What I'm saying is, if I reach out to you, you don't have to respond at all, but it does help to clarify some issues. This security company owner was very humble about the situation. He said he was embarrassed. And basically, this employee is no longer working for the organization. The situation is handled. I said, thank you so much for being transparent. Thank you for the quick response. Um, that's it. Like, there's no need for me to put a security video, I'm sorry, a video, social media review of ABC Security Company. Look at what they did. It doesn't advance what we're trying to accomplish. And what we're trying to accomplish is we're trying to have community within the industry, because we don't. It's branching off. What you basically have are the nationals that Mike from the Professional Security Journal calls. You got Securitas, Allied Universal, and then the large security companies that are represented under CalSAGA. You have them over here, and they have a very large market share. And they get to push forward legislation that is advantageous to them. They get to resolve situations within their own group. As when you compare that to many of us who are down over here, we represent a lot of security companies. We have a larger following than the CalSAGA website. I'm sorry, than the CalSAGA YouTube channel. We don't have a large in-person following, but most of our following is online. But we actually have a pretty strong voice. We have a larger following than the BSIS, the Bureau of Security Investigative Services. They are the regulatory arm for private security, private investigation professionals in the state of California. We have a larger following than them. I mean, we're this small community that we have is actually expanding. So CalSAGA and the large security companies, even if you're in another state like New York or Florida, the nationals, okay, the larger security companies, they resolve situations within themselves. But here's us. These guys here are creating legislation for us down here. So how about we police ourselves and resolve situations here so that these guys over here don't have to start contacting their state legislator and create laws that really impede progress over here. Okay. I don't know what you guys think about that concept, but it's working pretty good. We do have I hate to say this, but we have an underground network. If we see that somebody so far in California is out of line, we always know somebody who knows somebody who knows somebody. We try to resolve the situation one-on-one. Hey, like, take care of this. Now, if the situation is, I want to say, out of control, where you have the security company owner endorsing some of this nonsense, like Newton Patrol, you have them doing or rolling code 3, and then it's being posted on their Instagram page. That's the security company endorsing that type of behavior. I don't need to reach out to anybody. These types of security companies deserve a social media review. As for reaching out for people, I don't need to take extra time to reach out to people, call them on the phone. I have no problems confronting somebody one-on-one, in person, over the telephone, or through online. For me, it's easier. If I could just send you a direct message like, hey, can you resolve this situation, or can you provide some clarification? I have no problems at all confronting people in person. I've confronted numerous people in person, pointing them individually out in front of news media outlets. Maybe 10 years ago, 12 years ago, it doesn't bother me, but it's more quicker, it's more efficient if I just send a direct message. All right. So guys, let's police ourselves. If it's easier to police ourselves when we have a friendship or a strong bond with our partners, maybe our partner security companies. I highly recommend that if you're within your own security company and you see something that's like violates policy or that makes it look bad in the industry, maybe you have somebody wearing a 1% patch, a Punisher patch or something like that. Maybe if you feel comfortable talking to the person, just say, hey, you know what? Like, I understand that you're trying to express yourself, but man, that don't look good. That patch does not look good for the industry. If you get involved in a situation, they're going to photograph you. An OIS, they're going to photograph you from head to toe. And basically that Punisher logo represents vigilante justice. It don't look good, man. It don't look good. So you do you, but I'm just telling you, it don't look good. You're making me look bad and then everybody else. If we're able to do something like that, if we're able to feel comfortable doing that, I think we can resolve a lot of other situations offline. I am old school. I'll be 44 this year, and I like the old school method where you call somebody one on one in an office or away from everybody else, and you resolve the situation. Like, hey, you know what? This is what was said. What's up? How are you going to fix this? And that other person deals with it. But now what we do is we do internet trolling. People are so scared to confront somebody or to resolve a situation. They're afraid of conflict. They're afraid of challenges. So they write little comments in the comment section box below, and they press the send button. Some of these comments, not on my channel, other channels, if you were to make these comments to a grown man in person, you would get punched in the face. You absolutely would get punched in the face. Road rage. Again, a lot of road ragers wouldn't be doing these things if if they didn't have windows, if they didn't have a door, because they feel like there's a physical barrier from protection. Dealing with situations, I heard that there's people breaking up with other people in relationships, like over a text message. I mean, if the situation is safe, why not break up a relationship in person, or even over the phone? Even over the phone, it might be so toxic that you don't want to do this. Now, I do see there's some circumstances where it should be done over a text message, or over a direct message, but again, we're losing that one-on-one ability to address situations. So let me know what you guys think. I absolutely will not release the footage. If you find it on your own, find it on your own, but there's no need to talk about what security company it is, because from reviewing the footage, there is no way that security company owner or even the managers would have known that this person is bringing media attention unless they're at the post with them. And I guess the argument is, well, they should always be under constant supervision. And I would argue, yes, they should be under constant supervision. But you're going to assign a supervisor. So if you have one post at this bank, okay, pretend you're working in this bank. You have one post, one officer. You're going to assign another officer. How are you going to even pay both employees a fair wage if the contract asks for one? It doesn't make any sense. Should you have